Welcome back. Today we are playing a mystery visual novel called Dark Nights. There's 4 different routes and I guess 4 different endings. I thought it was called The Rule of 3. Guess this person doesn't know what that is. Let's get into it. It's an otome, so the main character is a female. Set your name and press enter to continue. We will go with the name the game gifts, Miyoko. I should have gone home earlier. My shoes are getting soaked. Everything is so boring these days that I keep losing track of time. Staying at home doesn't help, so I often go out. The library is one of my favorite places to visit because it's done so much for me to discover. Even then, there is a limit to what I can do there. I wish something interesting would happen in this village every once in a while. Anything that could kill my boredom. Normally when people say that, they regret what they said. I enjoy a boring life. I often pass by this mansion during the day, but this time, it catches my attention. I wonder when was the last time anyone last visited this place. No other house in the village looks as lonely as this one does. From afar it looks grand. If I had to guess, it was probably built over 2 centuries ago. The atmosphere changes as soon as I approach the house. The whole building is surrounded by a veil of thin mist. All the plants in the garden have been taken over by weeds. Behind the trees, I notice an empty fountain with a fairy statue in the middle. Its expression makes the environment even more depressing. Figures. No matter how you look at it, this place has an incredibly mysterious aura. There is something new to discover with each gaze around the premises. Some of the windows are broken and the door is locked with heavy chains. My feet start to get cold, drawing attention to my wet socks. Ooh, that feels horrible. Ooh, a ghost. As I'm about to turn around, I see a shadow move behind the windows. I try to focus on it, but it's already gone. It's as if nothing ever happened. Huh? Was that a person or just my imagination? I continue staring at the windows, but nothing else happens. Even though that was strange, I'm more curious than freaked out. In a way, I don't want to stay in the rain any longer than necessary. You probably shouldn't want to hunt down ghosts and stuff like that because you're gonna regret it. My mind is clouded by the thoughts of the mansion. Class starts soon. The first hour is history. My least favorite. I like the chalkboard. Bright days. It does not take long for me to doze off. I'll just take a short nap until class is over. I won't miss much anyway. When I finally open my eyes, school has already ended. I slept through all my classes. Miyoko? What the hell? I should be reprimanded for it, but my teacher, Mr. Blanchett, does not usually mind. He gives me special treatment because he knows I live alone, and there's no one for him to rat me out to. Perhaps I shouldn't do it too often. My classmates often look at me with resentful glares. I notice assignments lying on the desk, history and chemistry. Mr. Blanchett gave us more homework than usual. It can't get any more boring than doing the same assignments over and over again. It seems like the other students have already gone home. Our friends didn't even bother to wake me up. I'll get back at them for this. Now I feel too lazy to get up. You know, I think that's called depression. If I am being completely honest. Do 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 do. Once I'm ready, I start to head home. Even though I'm walking on the main road, no one's around. It is unusually quiet today, and after what Ryoji told me, I am feeling especially on edge. My footsteps echo in the silence of the empty street. When I hear another set of footsteps, I glance back, relaxing when I see it's only a boy from my school. I look at the cloudless sky and yawn. Even though I haven't done anything today, I feel so exhausted, I want to jump back into bed. Yeah, that's what you call depression. I take a few turns. It might be a coincidence, but the boy behind me seems to be following me. I've been walking very slowly this entire time, so he should have passed me by now. I should test him. There's an easy trick to find out if someone is following you or not. Break out into a sprint. If they start chasing you, well, obviously they're following you. If I turn 3 times clockwise or counterclockwise at forks in the road, I'll walk in a circle. And if the other person does that too, it means they have no destination. I enter a small alley. I take a turn. I turn once more. And again. Now if he's still following me, I'll know it's not just a coincidence. Right on cue, I hear the boy's footsteps behind me. That guy's still following me? That sure is interesting. I speed up trying to get him off my heels by taking more turns. All of a sudden, my arm is grabbed. I abruptly stop and turn around. It seems my stalker has caught up with me. Oh, he's just a first year. Hello, we don't know each other, but we go to the same school, and I just wanted to ask you something. What is it? Well, will you go out with me? No. To break the ice, I say. All right. Yeah, let's be a jerk. Is that all you wanted to ask? The boy looks at me and he scratches his head, obviously flustered. I have never seen him before. This confession's just too sudden. It might have taken a lot of courage for him to confess to me, but I do not appreciate his creepy stalkerish approach to things. You really had me freaked out. You should have waited somewhere instead of following me around. I could have punched you when you grabbed me. Don't do that. Now, to be honest with you, I'm not interested in dating a freshman. I thought we were in the same year. You look so young. Anyway, I wasn't stalking, You got it wrong, alright? Maybe you should memorize the uniforms for each class. I'm pretty new here. The first time I saw you, I immediately fell for you. Will you go out with me, please? Give me a chance. I roll my eyes at his cheesy lines. So impatient, too. My answer's still no. Now let me go. The boy keeps holding on to me even when I try to pull myself free. Frustrated, I violently tug my arm away. He doesn't seem to know when to give up. What a brat. Sorry, forget what I said. Give me another chance. Let's start out as friends and get to know each other better. The boy grabs my other arm and pulls me closer. He's getting more forceful as he tries to keep our conversation going. Without warning, I knee him in the stomach. He yelps and doubles over, finally letting me go. Ow. Don't make me repeat myself. I'm sorry, please give me another chance. You'll get kneed in the stomach if you grab me again. Is he a masochist? He reaches towards me again, but I step aside and grab his arm first. Skillfully, I seize his other arm and fold them both behind his back. When I speak again, my voice is stern. Try that again, and you won't live to regret it. Eh? I never expected a small girl like you to be so strong. I mean, yes, ma'am. If you do understand, then go. With a sigh, I release the boy and watch as he runs away. I hear him mumble something inaudible before he disappears down another street. The first years are always so troublesome. He called me a small girl even though he was small himself. People like him will always stay persistent unless I'm clear with them. Maybe I should report him to the administration. Well, I probably roughed him enough to teach him a lesson. You're gonna regret that. You should probably go report him. I think it's faster to save in these versus RPG Maker games. Once I get home, I go to my room. Maybe Bright Days is just a phrase that appears in this game. Oh, it's a bunny. I put my bag on the desk and drop onto my bed. As usual, the silence of my house is so heavy I can feel it making my shoulders sag. I live alone because my parents work overseas. They are usually busy, but they still call me whenever they can. It's not like I miss them, but it is always boring to be alone. I think you miss them. I used to have many hobbies, but as soon as I grew up, they started to feel pointless. At some point, they all became repetitive. I did not want to spend my life in an endless cycle of the same routine. That is depression, Miyoko. You should probably go see a doctor. And not for medicine. Actually, I think a therapist would be the proper... Yeah, therapist. As if I'm not doing that right now. For the time being, I will just stay as I am. This village has always been quiet. Aside from the same occult days every year, there is not much going on. I wish something exciting would happen. Actually, perhaps I can make my own excitement. I can try something new. Unless my fate has already been decided for me. If I could, I would rewrite this boring village. I think I forgot something. There was something I wanted to do. Ah, that mysterious mansion. I'm too sleepy right now. So tired. My eyelids feel heavy, and before I know it, I'm fast asleep. The next day. Miyako. What is it, Akuya? Did you get in a fight with another student yesterday? Huh? Why do you ask? There's a rumor that you roughed up a freshman yesterday for no reason. He grabbed my arm. So I need him in the stomach. All's well. Seriously, that brat. I should have reported him. Of course I'm on your side. I don't believe you'd do such a thing. A part of it is actually true, but to be fair, he was stalking me and being very forceful, so I simply defended myself. A dark-haired boy walks towards us. Ah, yes. Let me guess. You're a vampire or something. His name is Ryoji. Like Akuya, I met him in primary school. Miyako, there's a difference between self-defense and assault. It was self-defense. I doubt Mr. Class President will ever understand. You really do remind me of a wild rose. So, if I grew roots in this place, I'd die of boredom. Oh, this reminds me of that time from 2 years ago. You know, when you beat up those seniors? It wasn't like I wanted to do it. Besides, I only got involved because they started hazing all the freshmen. It's not my fault I couldn't hold back. Try to be nicer to your fellow students. Fine. I'll do my best. You should care more about your reputation. Nah, I think I'd rather need more people in the stomach. Aren't you afraid that you won't be able to make friends now that the rumor is going around? I didn't intend to make friends with the freshmen anyway. You always seem so bored. Meeting new people or falling in love will make your life more exciting. No comment. Shortly afterwards, we begin to prepare for our trip to the forest. Oh, our history teacher will be our guide. He supposedly wants to show the class a monument we learned about in class. Alright, so there's a creepy mansion in a village where nothing ever happens, and you're going on a field trip into a dark forest to look at an old monument. Man, you guys are just asking to get attacked by something. He claims pictures and books are nothing compared to the real thing. The monument we'll be visiting is only a 15-minute walk from our school. Akuya is clearly not looking forward to this trip. She's been holding my hand tightly the whole time. Hey everyone, don't stray from the path. You don't want to get lost here. We're totally gonna get lost. Make sure not to disturb the wildlife either. Guess this field trip turned out to be even more educational than I expected. I've never seen this place before. Well, not recently. I got lost during a class picnic once when I was in primary school. This looks different from what I remember. Ryoji, have you heard about the demon in the forest? Of course there's a demon in the forest. That just makes so much sense when we're trying to have a boring life. Apparently, the rumor started after some tourists went missing on a trip there. Do you think they're true? I don't know. I've never seen a demon before. Don't they only exist in legends? No, they possess people. They say there's a truth behind every legend. This village has many tales, but I doubt they're all true. If it's true, I hope our little demon friend doesn't eat people. Even if it does, it wouldn't eat you. You taste too bad. Akuya punches Ryoji. Well, ow, I was just kidding. Akuya giggles at his reaction. Why is the school taking us to a forest where a man-eating demon freely roams around anyway? The teachers don't believe the rumors. They think it's just a media stunt. And I know this because my dad told me. I guess we'll have to see what happens. There was one thing I'd like to warn you about. What is it? It's not public information yet, but recently, a few villagers went missing in the middle of the night. No trace of them has been found. It's as if they just vanished. Oh my goodness! For real? I sure won't be walking around alone again. If we're headed in the same direction, I can walk you home. You could also ask your brother to pick you up. My brother? No, not him. Why? He's from the elite class. He stands out too much. Well, if all eyes are on you, no one's gonna make a move. But being picked up like a kindergartner? Sorry, but... Anyway, even though this news hasn't been officially reached yet, you should be more careful. I don't want my friends to get hurt. I'll be fine. Anyway, should we ask Mr. Blanchett about the demon rumor? Don't mention that, you're ruining the mood. Let me ask him. We trip on Lyoji's conversation. Excuse me, Mr. Blanchett, do you know anything about the demon rumors? Oh, Lyle, well... You don't believe in them, do you? Not in the slightest. This forest is home to many different species of animals. Some silly people probably mistook one for a demon. Besides, there's no proof of their existence. The legends about this forest were just stories made to scare little children. What about the missing tourists? I don't think they disappeared. It is very easy for them to get lost in the forest without a map or guide. That's probably what happened to them. The rescue team will find them soon. Just stay with the group and you won't have anything to worry about. I see. What did Mr. Blanchett say? Exactly as I expected. I don't believe a thing about this demon. Still, the rumors have piqued my curiosity. Curiosity killed the cat. Miyoko. There's at least a grain of truth to every story. Something must have caused the villagers to feel restless. Hey, what do you guys think about doing a little expedition of our own? That sounds interesting. But those missing tourists, what if we get lost? Don't worry, I have a map and we can always signal for help with the torch. Really? You'll set the forest on fire with that? Why would you even have one of those? This isn't the Middle Ages. Just kidding, I got a phone with me. Can you even get a signal out here? Mr. Blanchett will. Don't worry, Ikuya. I'm sure everything will go smoothly. If anything does happen, you can blame it on me. Heh, sure. But that doesn't guarantee our safety. Stop overthinking it. What are the chances of anything bad happening? They're exponentially higher because you just mentioned it. Of course that'd be the worst. Don't tell me you're planning for it to happen. Nah, it just occurred to me. I haven't been to the forest in a while. This place looked worse in my memories. Yeah, this place looks too nice for a demon to live in. While we are here, we can look for the missing tourists. I'm up for it. Come with us, Ayuka. I think it'll be fun. Fine. Everyone gather together and let's go. The students line up in small groups. The teacher makes sure everyone is present before moving on. When do we sneak out? Let's head to the back of the line. You won't be able to see us there. As the group follows the main path, we end up at a fork in the path. Look, a crossroad. Which path should we take? Left or right? If we have that choice. According to the map, the right path goes farther into the forest, while the left one leads to a waterfall. Let's go to the waterfall. I don't think there's anything of interest among the trees. After a few minutes of walking, we reach the waterfall. A large, shimmering lake ringed by lily pads rests at the bottom of it. The cliff face of the waterfall also has paths of rocks lined alongside it, providing easy access to the other side of the water. The water's so clear I can see the bottom. Whoa, it's huge. The water looks so sparkly, I want to jump right in. You get excited over the simplest things, don't you? You probably shouldn't jump in the water. There might be dangerous animals or bacteria in the water. If you jump into it, you'll probably be eaten alive. Boo, you always ruin my fun. Lyoji chuckles at her reaction. I take a closer look at the lake. I can hear the sound of birds singing, but there doesn't seem to be any other animals around. These rocks could serve as the perfect seats. Miyako, come over here. I'm gonna explore for a bit. I'll be back soon. I know, don't worry. I skip over to the right side of the waterfall, trying to see what might be behind the stream of water. To my surprise, there seems to be a hidden cave. From the corner of my eye, I notice a shadow moving in the bushes. It moves so fast my eyes cannot make out what it is. It doesn't help that I was not paying attention. Whatever it is, I'm pretty sure it just went into the cave. I look towards the entrance and notice another path of rocks leading inside. Curiosity gets the best of me, compelling me to take a look. Oh man, yeah, curiosity definitely killed the cat. I carefully make my way across the rocks. After I manage to get behind the waterfall, I peer around the cave. I can't see anything in the darkness. I wish I had my phone with me so I could use a flashlight. What could be back there? I know I saw something head in a moment ago, but I can't see anything. I try to shout, but the sound of water cuts out my voice. And as I walk deeper into the cave, I try again. Hello? Is anybody there? I hear footsteps behind me. Surprised, I turn around. A shadow stands at the entrance. Who's there? I can tell from the person's build he's a man. Who are you? Who are you? Stop yelling, I'm not deaf. The man suddenly starts walking towards me. Surprised by movements, I step back. I slip on the wet, uneven surface and fall flat onto the ground. A hand reaches out to me, and I'm surprised by this man's kindness. Light suddenly filters through the waterfall, and I can finally see his face. Ah, he must be one of the male leads. I am not gonna pick him. Are you hurt? No, I'm okay. I take his hand and pull myself up. He gazes at me with his narrow violet eyes, but I'm drawn more to the long crimson hair he has tied into a loose braid. He's wearing odd traditional clothing. In particular, the collar around his neck raises lots of questions. You're disturbing my peace with your shouting. I'm guessing you're one of the tourists? Tourists? Can't you see I'm a student? How do you discover this cave? Are you lost? No, I wanted to. Follow the path outside and never come back. This is private property. Oh, so many questions at once. Don't just cut me off, answer me. Never mind that. Go back to your group already. Hey, stay away from this place. The man effortlessly pushed me out of the cave. What a rude guy. It's not like he owns the cave or anything. Huh. This reminds me of how I treated that first year kid. At least I gave him a chance to explain. This person was just... If no one's allowed to go in there, then what about the crimson-haired man? He seems to know about the tourist, too. After letting out a heavy sigh, I hop back across the rocks to Leoji and... Nope. I met a wood guy, but he doesn't seem worth mentioning to Ikuya and Leoji. Maybe demons don't live here after all. Jeez, Ikuya, have you given up already? Of course a demon won't show itself so easily. Did Mr. Blanchett ever talk about this forest during history class? I can't remember. That's because you're always asleep during history class. That's not true. I do pay attention. Sometimes. My friends chuckle. It's been a long day. My feet hurt from all the walking. I'm still curious about what secrets the forest has. That crimson-haired guy in particular bothers me. He wasn't dressed like a tour guide. Not that I've heard about any tours in the forest. Digging into it makes me more confused. Maybe perhaps I should stop here. Like he said, it's none of my business and there's no use fretting over it. Even as one mystery fades, however another one appears. The abandoned house from yesterday pops into my mind. I did plan on going there again, but it seems to not be raining right now. I glance at the time, it reads 8 p.m. It's already dark outside. My feet still hurt, but the house isn't far away. I grab my jacket and decide to go. Oh man, you were so dumb. First you walk into a cave, hurt yourself, and then you decide to go to a creepy abandoned mansion at 8 p.m. when no one's outside and there's barely any lights. You were definitely seeking death. A few minutes later, I reached the old house. Looks exactly as the same as last time. Even though it did not rain today, it's still surrounded by that eerie mist. It shouldn't be a problem if I look around. The house looks larger and older now that I'm close. I inspect the big chains locking the door. They're not old and rusty like I expected. They seem like they were put on recently. Perhaps the residence has a new owner. Suddenly, I hear a sigh from behind me. There was someone sitting on the edge of the fountain. He blends so well with the dreary mist that I have not noticed them when I slowly approach the man. Up close, I notice he looks near my age. He is most likely from the same school as me, but I've never seen him before. Perhaps he's part of the elite class. Each elite class student wears a custom designed uniform, making it difficult to be certain they even attend our school. According to Ikuya, you have to have very high grades to qualify, but there might be more to it than that. Many students envy their status. Hello? The guy flinches and looks at me startled. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. Oh, I do not mind. My apologies for not noticing you earlier. May I sit here? Be my guest. Could he be the shadow I saw yesterday? Do you come here often? It sounds like a cheesy pickup line, but I don't know what else to say. I do. This place is an interesting atmosphere. He looks away from me. The warm copper of his gaze thoughtful. Something about him feels off. I'm not sure, but is he sad? I can't read his expression. What about you? Well, I never noticed how interesting this place was before, so I thought I'd come take a closer look. At this hour? I like going for walks at night. That's a lie. Likewise. The man's expression clears up and he smiles. Would you like to go for a walk with me then? Sure. You are so dumb. You do not follow a stranger you just met for a walk around a creepy abandoned mansion at 8 p.m. at night. You are dumb. Unlike the rest of the garden, this path is not covered with weeds. The ground is even and well trod. As we walk, he points out the statues hidden away by unusual shrubs and flowers I've not seen before. He does it so naturally, as if he owns this place. The moonlight and starry sky illuminate the view, which makes it even more beautiful. I never expected to find such beauty in an abandoned place like this. You seem to know a lot about this mansion. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have. Do you know who put the chains on the door? The man hesitates to speak. I seem to have found my answer. I do not know about it. I guess he doesn't want to say. It's getting late. I should go home. Have a good night. As I head back to the front yard, I realize I didn't ask for his name. The weekend finally arrives. In the morning, I make myself breakfast and sit on the couch. While chewing on some toast, I open the newspaper. I do not have any real leads from any disappearances yet, but I have to catch up with the news. It's full of the usual advertisements, but now it actually has decent news articles. I browse through hoping to find something interesting. My eyes stop at the page with numerous sketches. The reports of missing persons are increasing. It's just a few days. It's reached a point where the police can no longer suppress the public outcry. I study their profiles and try to find a commonality, but there does not seem to be one. Age, gender, appearance, occupation, address. Nothing adds up. This is going nowhere. I recognize some of the people, but I don't think they knew each other. Then again, if it was that easy, the cops would have solved the cases already. I doubt people disappear without a trace. They must have gone into hiding or were kidnapped. The thought of someone I know suddenly disappearing is scary. These crimes, or whatever they are, have to stop at some point. How long can this go on? I flip a page and find an article about an attempted homicide. A local reported that she heard a distressed scream late at night. According to her, the attacker ran off when she reached the scene. She also stated she managed to take a picture. When she noticed the victim was still alive, she called emergency services and waiting for the ambulance to arrive. Witness: I can't believe someone did such an inhumane thing. This is unforgivable. Further details on this case are below. Attached to the article is a blurry photo the witness took of the suspect with her cell phone. Nothing about their appearance is distinguishable. It would be difficult to identify them. The description says the victim had been missing for a week before the incident took place. I put the newspaper aside and took a sip of my tea. News really spreads quickly in this village, no matter how grisly it is. Rumors pop up just as quickly. I'd not be surprised if people are already talking about who the attacker might be. While distasteful, these same rumors become the trails that lead back to criminals, allowing the crimes to be resolved just as quickly. I want to help track down these people, but I'm not sure I'd make a difference. For now, I should just keep an eye out for anything suspicious. I absent-mindedly eat the rest of my breakfast. I should take a walk to clear my mind. Going to the park sounds like a good idea. I look up at the bright blue sky. Gentle winds blow the puffy clouds about. And I think we'll end things off here. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. If you did, don't forget the like button, comment, subscribe if you want, and I'll see you in the next one. As always, goodbye.